Okay, 401k match. Do not leave money on the table. All right, we're going to get into this one, but before we do, I'd like to ask you to go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and go ahead and hit that notification bell. All right, 401k match. Do not leave money on the table. This is going to be a quick one, but a very, very important one. We just talked about, in my last video, about getting your starter emergency fund in place. I recommend $2,000 to start that starter emergency fund. Or I also listen to the Money Guy. They recommend highest deductible covered. And we talked about in my previous video, medical deductibles for medical insurance, being in that $2,000 to $3,000, sometimes above $3,000. So it might be appropriate to look at your deductibles and get your starter emergency fund up to your highest deductible, like a health insurance plan that could be in the $3,000 range even. So getting that starter emergency fund, but I recommend as a very next step, to go ahead and take advantage of the company match, your 401k, if you have a 401k at work. Let me use an example, okay? Let's say that your employer every single week had a table set up. When you get your check, many of us have it by direct deposit, but as you were leaving, at the end of the week at your job, let's just say every week there was a table set up at the door, and as you were leaving, they had two $20 bills that you could take or not take, okay? And let's just say every single time you left that door, you just decided, hey, I'm all right. Don't give me my $40. I'm just gonna walk right out of the building, okay? And so every single week you did that. Now you watch some of your coworkers go ahead and stop and pick up their $40 every single week, but you're saying, I'm all right. I don't need that $40. You can just go ahead and keep it. Now, how many of you would really do that? Or would you go over there every single week and pick up that $40? I bet you would. I bet you would stop by that table every single week and pick up that extra $40. Yet, there is a percentage of folks that do not do that, okay? Now, I read in a CNBC report that 4 in 10 workers with a 401k don't contribute to the 401k plan. So 4 in 10 workers don't contribute to the plan. And then from the Money Guy, I was looking at some stats that the Money Guy came up with, that 1 in 3 Americans do not take advantage of their full employer match. So 1 in 3 Americans don't take full advantage of the company match that they have through their 401k. This is crazy. So 1 in 3 Americans have decided that that table that's set up, that has that $40 as they're walking out each week, they're just saying, hey, keep that money. That's all right, I'll just go ahead and pass it up. And I use $40 as an example because we're gonna go through a scenario here, okay? Let's just say that you have a job at a retailer, like I work at, and you're a middle manager. You're an assistant manager, okay? And let's say that your assistant manager hourly pay is $20 an hour, okay? Now, let's say that your company matches 5%. They give you 100% match up to 5% of your pay, okay? And let's say that you work 40 hours a week. And again, we already said that you make $20 an hour. Well, 5% of 40 is 2, okay? So again, you're making $20 an hour, 5% of 40, which you work 40 hours a week, is 2. So that would be 2 times 20 or $40. So let's just say that you're paid weekly. That means what would come out of your weekly check every single week is 2 hours of your pay, or $40 per week, and the company would match that, an additional $40. Okay? This is incredible. It's just like I was talking about, and you walking up to that table every single week and picking up an additional $40 rather than passing by like the 1 in 3 Americans that do not take advantage of that. You're going to be smart and take advantage of it. So $40 would come out of your check and go into your 401k, and then the company would give you an additional $40. Incredible. Let's go further with this example. There are 52 weeks in the year. So you got 40 times 52 over the whole year, you're going to be getting that $40. Now that breaks down to, per month, about $346.66 per month. $346.66 per month is what it comes up to if you're doing $40 a week. Plus your $40, it's actually $80 a week. I wasn't even getting this right. So you're putting in $40 and the company is also putting in $40, which is $80 a week, which again comes to about $346.66 per month. This is incredible. You've got $346.66 per month going in. And what this translates to, because you're going to probably be investing in something in your 401k. Let's just assume that you're investing in an S&P 500 fund. Since its inception, the S&P 500, let's say that you're doing an S&P 500 index fund, has returned about 10%. Actually, a little bit more than that. It's like 11%, but let's go with 10%. Let's just say that you're 25 years old when you get this middle management job. You're an assistant manager earning $20 an hour. You're 25 years old, and let's say that you never get a raise. You just stay at that job and that level. They never pay you more than $20 an hour, and you stay as an assistant manager from age 25 to age 65, making $20 an hour. A 40-year career that you're doing that, making that $20 an hour. Okay? And you do the company match. Again, you're putting in $40 because they're paying 5% of your pay. And then the company is matching that with $40, so you've got $80 a week that's going in, or just like we said, that $346.66 a month, because there's an extra month in the year, because there's 52 weeks in the year. Well, anyway, if you did that from age 25 to age 65 and the S&P 500 does that 10%, you would end up with $2,192,305. Let me say that again. You would end up with $2,192,305. You would have over $2 million just by taking advantage of the company match and earning $20 an hour throughout your whole working career, not even getting a raise. It'd be even more if you got a raise. So we're working with very, very conservative numbers here. Like I said, the average company match is between 4 and 6%. So we're going right in the middle there, that 5%. And you would end up with over $2 million in the example that we just gave. You do not want to leave this money on the table. Now, in our next future video, we're going to go over actually eliminating debt, like consumer debt, like credit cards. Because these credit card companies are charging you north of 20% interest. That's crazy amount of interest. So you definitely want to pay down debt, but it does not beat often the 100% return, dollar per dollar match that many companies have. A 100% return is often what you're getting by taking advantage of the company match. That's a lot greater than even the 20% plus interest payments on credit card payments. So you cannot pass up this deal. It's an incredible deal to take advantage of the company match. Do not leave money on the table. Do not have that attitude of, that's all right, I'll just pass up that company match. It is so fantastic that you want to take advantage of it. Just like I was saying, in the example that I gave, over a 40-year working career, over $2 million with just the company match. Take advantage of this. This is a powerful part of your wealth building tools that you have if you have a company match at work. Don't skip this one. In the next video, we'll start to dive into paying off that high interest debt, that consumer debt. Thanks again for following me and listening. Again, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell if you find my content valuable. Thanks.